Hey, what's up? Dilio coming to you in another video of DilioT2K.com. And in this video, I am showing you a technique to put more air in your vocals. This works on pretty much anything, and you can even add it to your mixes. I like to simply use it on the vocals to kind of give you that air. But with the current microphone that I got right now, I don't even need it. Unrelated, let's talk about this. So this is a free plugin from Slate Digital. As to my knowledge, it is a free plugin. And what it does, it adds a little bit of mid air, a little bit of high air. You have to be careful because it'll also enhance the noise. If you got noise in your track, you'll enhance that too. So you have to be careful about that. Of course, you got a little bypass button right there. Really cool stuff. So I'm gonna play an audio clip of a vocal I did, and as you can see, I have fresh air disabled. So what I'm gonna do is enable it and disable it so that you can hear the different sounds. So let's go.
You said how you really feel. You let me keep it real. You don't hold me back. You make me glad.
Off.
When we disagree.
On.
We know how to work it out.
Off.
I can't even stay mad. Plus you know you're bad. Oh, serious.
So as you can hear, it really enhances like that kind of like that cutting, those cutting frequencies that really help your vocals to cut through the mix. It sort of puts frequencies that you may feel are missing from like mid-range, lower-end condenser microphones. I used the Audio-Technica 2020 for a long time, and it sounded great with a little bit of EQ, a little bit of TLC. The track sounded great, but it still felt like I had something missing until I tried out a Neumann TLM 103. I was borrowing a friend's Neumann TLM 103, and immediately I did hear a difference in the high-end sound. It sounded like it cut a little bit more. Of course, having an optical compressor like what I got over here also helps enhance vocals as well. But you know, it was still something missing there, and I even got a WA87, which sounded even a little bit better than my AT 2020. And but you know, if you're creating music on your own, you're always looking for that next edge and then this next thing to kind of take it over to make it sound more professional. And so with that, they introduced this plugin. I plugged it on the vocals. Like, yeah, that gives me the air I'm looking for. Now, one thing to pay attention to is that sometimes your monitors will hide the air in your mix. For instance, I'm using a pair of JBL 308s, and they're good monitors. They do a good job. They are flat, but sometimes I feel like I gotta push the high end on it a little bit more. But unfortunately, if I panic because I'm not hearing so much high end in the mix on these monitors, I could be overcompensating for that. And then when I finally listen to it in the car, you know, you have to really pay attention and see that, okay, now you're hearing the tweeters kind of distorted in the car, or they're really hitting your ears really hard. And, you know, sometimes you can get burnt out and just kind of get lazy on that part, but I think it's important to, moving forward, to really enhance your vocals, get that high end cutting right there. And also do a little bit of de-essing. As you can see, I got a plug-in right here that I use to de-ess. You know, and what this does, this sort of kind of helps you to get control of those sibilant frequencies, those S's and those T's. So if you use this in conjunction, and you know, it's your preference. You can mute that or disable that, or have the de-esser in front of the fresh air plugin, or vice versa, and try it out and see what works for you. There's no one way to do it. Of course, engineers who live and eat, breathe this stuff at a further depth than I do will have a range that you like to see. But I think that probably, and I have them in reverse, but I think you'll want to de-ess before it hits the fresh air, so that way, you know, it's sort of giving fresh air a little bit something that's more controlled and gives you more of that vocal air and that vocal breath without going crazy on the S's and the sibilant stuffs and the plosives. You know, like for instance, microphones kind of, you know, you get kind of a distorted sound from that. But I like to turn this up like about 36%, 15%. You really got to use your ears. I know a lot of people who are looking for more air in their vocals are looking for, you know, a clear answer. And the more advanced, the more you get into this stuff, it's a case by case basis, and you have to really use those ears, which can be frustrating answer to the person who wants to learn, because they want to get to the answer as fast as possible. They want to get to the solution as fast as possible. And I'm telling you from my experience that the solution is that there's not quite one. If you hear it's like this and it sounds like this, boom, you're done. And of course, if I listen to this in a different environment, that's more sealed and quiet, I probably would, and different monitors, I probably would have a whole different approach. I might say, oh, this doesn't need air at all. So you kind of get into a argumentative circle about what works and what doesn't work. But one thing I do know is that this does provide good high-end quality boosting enhancement. Could be harmonic distortion in those frequencies or something like that. But it does something to help those vocals cut through. Now, when I switched over to the Warm Audio 8000, I no longer use the Fresh Air plugin because that thing is just cutting. It feels like a cheat code because it sounds so good coming in, and now all I have to do on that is de-ess it because because it cuts so hard, and it does really good for R&B and hip hop vocals and pretty much any vocal in my opinion, because it goes so hard in the paint on your vocals that now you have more than enough. So now you got that mad clarity. You use a compressor to kind of get that dynamics range squashed down a little bit to give you that nice tight sound, and then de-ess it so you can get those S's under control so that they don't blow your speakers whenever you hear an S, especially from a female vocal. I know when I sing my vocals, and you can tell in my older recordings, like some songs I did de-ess, other songs I didn't. Like even on the album I'm working on now, like from this song's going on my new album, and I have a de-esser here to get those S's under control, and that really helps. But you don't really hear a need for S's until you don't really hear a need to de-ess until you hear it popping out at you. And then you have to have the grace in your life for someone to say, hey, de-essing is a thing. De-essing is an actual thing, and you actually need to use that for your vocals to help them deal with the sibilant frequencies in your mix for vocals. So this is my secret sauce for air in your vocals. Now, to me, in my opinion, I'm going to post another video of me reviewing my latest microphone that I acquired. To me, that is the sauce. I don't think I'm going to need another microphone after that. That's it. It was an expensive microphone, too, but that microphone was good. But if you have any other microphone and you just want to add a little bit of air to it, this plugin right here is a great plugin. It's a great tool. It's very turnkey, and it's a lot of fun to use. So with that, make sure you subscribe to YouTube. Subscribe to DLittleTTK TTK on this channel for more tips and more live streams and more cool stuff right here. And I'll see y'all later in the next video. Peace out.